Good morning from a very sunny allotment. Chilly, but sunny. This video's a little bit late, and I did actually do some filming last week. I was showing me putting more carrots in, liming my brassica bed, also taking some cuttings from my dahlias to increase my stock. And very stupidly, I deleted it by accident, and I tried all sorts to try and recover it, but I couldn't find it, so a little bit disappointed. So basically what I'll try and do is I'll show you the dahlia cuttings in the next video when I get back from my holiday. As it stands now, there's not enough shoots on there at this moment in time on the particular dahlias that I want to take cuttings from, so I'll give them another couple of weeks and I'll try and show you that then. I'm going to Cornwall this week, as I mentioned in one of my last videos. I'm going to be visiting the Lost Gardens of Helligan and various other places, so I'm probably not going to be doing a video next week. So what I thought I'd do is just take you around the plot, just give you a brief update as to where we are. Oh, and at the very end I've got a nice surprise of some free of charge timber crates that I'm going to be making into raised beds, so keep watching for that. So I thought I'd start off at the front of the plot, just showing the planters, how the tulips and the daffodils have come up, and the montbretia is starting to shoot through, and the apple blossom is looking really good. And that's the same there with the pear tree. There's no sign of my potatoes popping through, and I'm hoping that that's the way it's going to stay for at least the next couple of weeks whilst I'm away. Just before the onions are flying on. A little bit of weeding needs doing there. The salad station has started. I've put in a couple of rows of radish. There's lettuce to go in here. There's also beetroot to go in here. So this will start to fill up as we get to the warmer part of next month. I've also managed to get a third row of carrots underneath this cloche, so they should be popping through in the next 10 days or so, fingers crossed. As I mentioned, I've put some lime down in the brassica tunnel, not too much, just a sprinkling all the way across onto the other side. These are the peas that I sowed directly into the soil. Germination's a little bit sporadic. I think personally I'm going to stick to the gutters in future. Lessons learned, as they say. My first early potatoes, I started off in the greenhouse, started to shoot, so I've topped the bags up, and they're now sitting outside. So in the next probably 2 weeks we should start to see those shoot through. And I'm trying to, I think they were Charlottes, yeah, I think they were Charlottes. Here I've put my Elsa Craigs, and they seem to be going sort of like a bit yellow on the tips, and I think that might be that there's maybe a little bit too nitrogen. I did put a little bit of manure in here, but way back, and it was well rotted way back last year, so I don't understand that. If anybody out there knows what might be happening here, I'd appreciate it if you could drop me a comment and let me know. But that's happening as well over here to the rest of the Elsa Craig, so Any help with that would be appreciated. Right, let's bob into the first greenhouse. All covered up, and you've got to, because these temperatures are up and down, and we'll still forecast some frost later on this week. So I'll get unwrapped and we'll have a look round. There we go, all unwrapped. We'll start down here. Some anti-rhinums waiting to be potted on, along with some, I think, little gem lettuce there. These are the red lettuce. Some of my squash, I've got various types, and the lettuce there is doing really well. That one is Tom Thumb, that's thickening up, busting to go out. The cucumbers are looking good there. The fennel, everything seems to have shot up now, so I'm really pleased with that. I've got some more squash here, this row, and they are butternut squash. Along there with my rainbow chard. Defender courgettes, they're looking really well. And do you remember the cucumbers, the outdoor cucumbers I talked about? It says they weren't looking too well. What I've done is I've had them in this propagator, and they've really shot on, so I think they just needed a little bit more heat, so I'm pleased about that. Onto the tomatoes, which are all doing fantastic. As I say, I've got quite a lot of tumbling varieties, Lassetto, Mascotka, I've got some Moneymaker, and various other ones. Mascotka are going really well. Sweet corn's doing well. This will probably survive in here. As you can see, the pots, the roots are not to the bottom of the pot, so I've got probably another 2 or 3 weeks before the frosts the threat of frost has gone. So I'll keep an eye on them, and if I don't need to put them on, I won't. I'll just get them straight out. The Leviteria at the back here are all looking really well. These are the cuttings that I've taken, the dahlia cuttings. They always feel sorry for themselves as soon as you've done it, but after a few days they should perk up. Put some pumpkin in there, and the grandkids sunflowers, which I've potted on, and they're looking really good. And also, oops, get out of the sun, Malcolm. Also, the leeks are coming on really well. So yeah, it's all looking good in there. I'll nip round to the next greenhouse now. So we come. As you can see down here, I've potted on my lupins, so they're in 3-inch pots now, so they can stay there now until they're ready to go out. Went to the supermarket the other day, and yet again, negligent staff putting loads and loads of bedding plants outside for people to buy. I saw these 3 clematis, 3 different climbing plants for £5. But you can't go wrong. So I've brought them in to the greenhouse, potted them on into decent pots, in some decent compost, and I'll bring those on, and I'm going to use those to go around the perimeter fence on the plot. Also potted on my cosmos. As you can see, they're doing well. The compost, however, is absolutely horrendous. It's just bone, tinder, dry. It really is. Some of my peppers and some of the chilies there, doing quite well. At the back, we've got the runner beans. More butternut squash. Oh, it's not butternut squash, that one. We've got some coriander there French beans and the beetroot. Some more cosmos. Let's take you down to have a look at my parsnips, see how they're going on. Here we go. As you can see now, the parsnips have really put on a little bit of size. I did mention to you about being on your guard with regards to the weather, keeping an eye on the forecast, and I did make a bit of a mistake. As I said, I take this lid off during the day and put it back on at night, and one night I forgot, so I lost about 4, but the rest seem to have done really well. Just move round now to the garlic. The garlic's doing really well. It's putting on some really decent size now. I think I've over 300 garlic in there, so I'm really pleased at how they're going. I'll take you down now to have a look at the timber crates that I got free of charge, the best price in the world. So folks, what do we think to these? These are brand new packing cases. I managed to get hold of 6 different sizes. And you're probably wondering, well, where's he going to put them? But I've got a plan. But first of all, what I've got to do is, as you can see, they're just nailed in the corner. So what I've got to do is get some timbers in this side so I can join from both sides. And what I'm thinking of doing on these 2 smaller ones here, I'm thinking of putting on some legs, maybe 2 feet high, just to raise them up a little bit so they're almost like a planting table. So that's a project that I'm going to get onto when I get back from my little break down to Cornwall. And I'll just take you to the area where I think I'm going to plant them, put them. As I've mentioned to you before, this area here floods, so I'm thinking of covering this area with the membrane. I've got some spare flags at the top, putting a couple of paths down and then putting some of the planters here, so then all this area really is going to be raised beds. And also I'm probably looking to maybe do something similar right in the far corner there, and also in this corner here. And I'm also thinking, if you can see on the top there, they're like power cable drums, and I'm thinking I might be able to set the big one on top of those. I don't know how it'll look, I don't know if it'll be too high, but it's certainly something I'm going to look at. How about this looping? Absolutely stunning. This looping right over the winter has never died back. I've got 3 of them. There's one there, one in the distance there, and one just there. And in this bed there are numerous seedlings growing, so I'm going to try and leave this bed undisturbed and see if I can get them growing. Once I can see where they are, then I can interplant amongst them with my dahlias. So that's it from me, guys. I'd first like to just thank all my new subscribers, and for everybody else that tunes in and watches these videos. Today's been a little bit rushed because of obviously the incident with the accidentally deleted clips from last week, but I hope you found it interesting. As I say, I'm on my way for a week, so I might put a couple of clips on of when I'm down in Cornwall. We'll just see how we go. But until then guys, stay safe, enjoy your week, and happy growing.